there, my name is Jeff Carson. In this video, I'm going to tell you the difference between SEO and PPC. A lot of people don't know what these acronyms stand for or what they mean for your business. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to understand what they mean and how each one can work for your business or hurt you potentially. So let's start off with SEO, or search engine optimization. This is essentially the practice of using different tactics and strategies to help your business rank #1, or at least on the front page of Google. This is the coveted spot that everyone seeks, so it tends to be a very competitive space depending on which industry you're in. And pay-per-click, on the other hand, or PPC, is basically paying Google or search engines for placement at the top. So the difference here is, if you ever go on Google and you search for something, usually at the top it'll say ad, or sponsored. Those are basically people that pay Google to be listed #1 at the top of the page. And each time someone clicks on one of these links, Google charges that person or that company a certain dollar amount, hence the name pay per click. So you might be asking yourself, okay, so which one works for me? Should I use SEO or should I use pay per click? SEO can be thought of as sort of the organic feature, meaning it's something that consumers tend to trust more because it just naturally pops up. They know it's not something that's sponsored or something that people paid for directly. While PPC gets people's attention immediately and it gets you ROI right off the bat. The difference is that SEO tends to be something that takes a long time to sort of end up at the end result that you want. This could be weeks, months, maybe even a year, depending on your industry and how competitive it is. The tactics involved in SEO range from what we call on-page SEO and off-page SEO. On-page SEO is essentially building the website and the content in a way that Google fully understands what it's about and kind of drops in its keywords, so that whenever you search for certain keywords, like let's say accountant in Dallas, it'll read everything on your website and see, okay, is this a good fit for that keyword? This is the baseline of what needs to be done in SEO. From there, you need to focus on off-page SEO, which is essentially backlinks coming to your website. So the more websites or other websites, especially trusted ones, that link back to your website, the better, because Google thinks, okay, this is somebody that is an authoritative figure in this industry and somebody that maybe we should push up in the rankings. Of course, the cost of this can greatly range, but typically you see a good SEO charge between $1,500 and $3,000 a month just to get your website sorted in place at the beginning and then to get links coming back to your website. PPC, on the other hand, can range greatly. Oftentimes you can get as low as maybe $2 to $3 a click, and on the higher end, like let's say for example, the legal industry tends to be $100, $200 per click, so it can get really expensive. And essentially what's involved in PPC is building out the ad itself so that it's something catchy that people want to click on, but also sending them to a landing page that's very concentrated on the offer that you're promoting and is really targeted for the people that are likely to click on that ad from a Google campaign. In addition to the costs that are associated with the ads themselves, in other words, what's paid directly to Google, there are costs for somebody to create the ads, to create the landing pages, and to kind of give you an overall strategy. That can greatly range as well. Typically, most people charge maybe $500 to $750 a month, or 10% of the budget that you're willing to spend at Google. You can definitely use both of these strategies together. Again, it just depends on your budget and how much time you can afford to wait until you start seeing ROI. So how can you tell which one's best for you? That really depends on the margin of your business and the budget that you have. So for example, in a high margin business, like let's say the legal industry, a personal injury attorney could make possibly $50,000, $100,000 on a case. And because of that, they can afford the $200, $300 a click, because over time, all it takes is one customer to pay for the campaign and then some. On the flip side, if you have a small business, let's say a custom knife maker, and you make $20 on a knife sale, then if you're paying even $5, $6 a click, which is probably a standard range, it's not going to be beneficial to you, and you're just going to be throwing away your money. And SEO, while it can be expensive on a month-to-month basis, and it does take a long time to see fruition, whenever you do invest that over time, it really pays dividends, because once you're on top, you can remain on top relatively easily. Another benefit of SEO is the expenses are capped and the potential to revenue is really uncapped. So for example, let's say you're paying a SEO $1,500 a month. You know exactly you're going to be spending $1,500 each month. However, at month 3, let's say for example, you can get 3 customers. So maybe that's not, that the ROI on that doesn't work out for you. But now after month 6, maybe you're getting 5, 10 leads, or maybe you're getting 10, 15 customers. Your price still stays the same while your customer base grows. So the more you do it and the longer you go, the better SEO returns are. So at the end of the day, the question you have to ask yourself is my business high margin enough to get through the down periods of either a slow SEO progression or the cost up front of pay-per-click ads? And there's one last thing we should talk about. These strategies incur fees not only paid to the service provider, aka the agency, but also the third-party vendor like Google Ads or Facebook Ads and those type of things. So it's important to remember the distinction between the two. You can use both of these services together, and also keep in mind that both of these really go into depth as far as the tactics and strategies that are used. I just kind of covered the 50-foot view of them. If you're trying to DIY this, it's very doable, but just keep in mind that it takes a lot of time in order to perfect. It's easy to understand the concepts, but after a while, you'll start to realize that you need a lot of time in order to develop the strategies and the tactics that are needed to really see results. So that about covers it on this topic. If you have any questions, please just leave them in the comments below. I'll reach out to you. And this is a new YouTube channel, and I'm really trying to reach out a lot of small business owners. So if you get a chance, if this video brought any value to you, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks.